What is shaking, 49er fam? The Niners get the win 31-17 to start off the season 1-0 in Tampa Bay. And yes, there were definitely some things that are going to need to be improved going into week 2 and going into the rest of the season. But there's no better way to start off the momentum for the rest of the season by starting off 1-0. And that's what the Niners did. And the first half, there were some sloppy moments. The penalties were just atrocious. First off, you had 3 touchdowns that got called back for penalties. George Kittle would have been credited with 2 of those. And Raheem Mostert, who had a monster game, one of them would have been his rushing touchdown, but just like the other 2, they got called back for a penalty. And by the way, Raheem Mostert definitely showed everyone who he was if they did not already know. And Tevin Coleman also went out at the beginning of the second half with an ankle injury. So not quite sure the latest status on him. However, the Niners did reclaim Jeff Wilson Jr. from the practice squad, who they surprisingly, despite how good of a preseason he had, cut him off the 53-man roster before the start of the season. However, he is now back due to the injury to Tevin Coleman. By the way, Tevin Coleman also had a pretty good game as well. And same with Matt Breida. So this running back core is definitely good. There's nothing, I don't think, that particularly, improvement can be done everywhere. But as of now, there's not much improvement needed in that running back core. But Jimmy Garropolo also, he played good overall, I would say, but in the first half specifically, he was good at completing those short passes like to George Kittle and whatnot, but throwing downfield, I want a quarterback that I have confidence when it's 3rd and 15 that he will throw downfield and he will complete a pass to a receiver running a deep route. And under Jimmy G, as much as I hate to say it, I just don't have that much confidence that he's able to do that as of yet. I hope he's able to improve game after game after game, week by week, but I need to see some improvement out of Jimmy Garropolo. I need to see him work on his deep balls. I need to see him work on his downfield accuracy. And yes, he had a better game without a doubt. Yes, he did throw that 1 pick 6 in the first half. Ugh. Going into halftime, it didn't look too good. It looked like the Niners were going to find a way to lose this game and start the season off with an L. But they did not. Their defense was outstanding. Nick Bosa, welcome to the NFL, my man. He had his first sack in the second half, and towards the end of the game as well, I believe he also got credited with the sack that him and Eric Armstead both kind of shared. So Nick Bosa, it's great to. We didn't see him at all in the preseason, so it's good to see him. Finally see what he can do in a 49ers uniform after his great career at Ohio State. And so, beginning of the first half, Jimmy G does throw a great pass to Richie James Jr. for the touchdown. And then very, very shortly after that, after the Bucs go back on offense, Richard Sherman with his first interception and his first pick 6 in a 49ers uniform. And the Niners only had 2 interceptions last year, and in this game they have 3 interceptions, and in this game they had 2 pick 6s. The first one by Richard Sherman, and then the second one with 2 minutes left to go in the game by Ahkello Witherspoon. The Niners defense is legit. The Niners defense won this game along with the running back core with Raheem Mostert as well. Defense is what wins championships, and defense was what won this game. And, with the additions of Nick Bosa, D Ford, it's no surprise how well this defense played week 1. I'm also Kwon Alexander around the beginning of the first quarter, towards the middle of the first quarter. he had a vicious helmet-to-helmet hit on his former quarterback, Jamies Winston, and he got ejected, and I'm going to touch on that real quick. Look, the play I thought was unnecessary, as much as I love Kwon, I thought that, of course, the helmet-to-helmet, was unnecessary. That being said, did he deserve to be ejected from the game? Absolutely fucking not. Like, it at least should have been reviewed for them to determine whether he should have been ejected from the game or not. I see where the NFL's coming from, wanting to make the game safer, wanting to eliminate those helmet-to-helmet hits because those can be really dangerous, especially for the brain. But Kwon Alexander, he was having a really good game before he got ejected against his former team. I don't think he intended to hurt his former quarterback at all. His head was in the game. He was caught up in the moment. However, I wish he would have just, had a normal hit on Jamies Winston. But that being said, he definitely did not deserve to be ejected. But, week 2, he'll be back. Been stronger than ever. So, the defense is the best defense we've had since the Jim Harbaugh era. I mean, it took so long to finally rebuild a good defensive front, and they sure did. So, next week, the Niners got the Cincinnati Bengals, which, of course, they won this East Coast game. However, it was a 1:25 start in their body clocks. They're not going back to the Bay Area this week. They're going to be staying in Youngstown, Ohio, so it's good for them to stay on the East Coast. But they cannot let this game next week be a trap game. They need to go all out, and they need to get the win, and they need to start off 2-0 going to week 3 against the Steelers. And how awesome would that be? I mean, just starting off 1-0 is good, of course, but you can't let that get out ahead of yourself. Of course, the Niners also started off 1-0 in 2016, and they only won one more game all against the same team they beat in that first week, the Rams. So, this season, though, I'm looking forward to it. Jimmy Garropolo, I want to see better accuracy from him, throwing deep downfield, throwing the short passes to Kittle, he was good. And, of course, throwing that touchdown pass to Richie James Jr., he was good. But I want to be able to be confident that when it's 3rd and long, Jimmy G is going to come through and complete a first down. That's what I want to be confident as a Niner fan. And I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that Nick Mullins, I have more confidence in him completing those long, deep downfield passes because Nick Mullins has shown a lot of accuracy with those more than Jimmy G, who's being paid $137 million. So I want to see improvement. And, I'm not knocking him. He had a good game. But, I want to see him improve week by week. So, this season, I'm so happy to have football back, baby. Great game to watch. Watch it with the AZ 49er Empire down in Tempe. It was great. Let's go, baby. Dana G is out. Peace. Go Niners. Let's go.